Hi everybody, welcome to the Messy Cook by Dale. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks again for all your support and all your recipe ideas and liking and subscribing. It's terrific, thank you. Today we're going to be doing cookies. We're doing baking. Now, we're doing today the classic chocolate chip cookie. In our household, I was making almost a batch a week when the kids were growing up. They love these chocolate chip cookies. It was a real favorite of the family. And I'm going to share it with you today. The thing with baking is that it is chemistry. So if you're going to opt out any of the ingredients, please do your research because you might screw up a recipe. So if they call for brown sugar, do your research. What can you opt out for the brown sugar? But I like to stay according to the recipe that I have. I keep the ingredients just as is. All right, so we're going to start with, you're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the first thing to do. Then you're going to start with your dry ingredients. And we brought out the big guns today, the mixer. It makes it a lot easier. You cannot do all this by hand. It's just a lot more effort, but this does all the work for you. So the big guns are coming out. So we've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour in here. To that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which is here. Baking soda. That's not baking soda. That was close.
Sea salt.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay, so 1 teaspoon, that's a teaspoon of baking soda. Whoops, that goes in there. I think the salt goes in there anyway. But a half of a teaspoon of baking powder, which is this. Baking powder. If you don't do a lot of baking, you have to be careful that your baking powder doesn't lose its ability to rise your dishes. So just keep an eye on it. Make sure it's not like 10 years old, sitting in your pantry. Okay, to that, we're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. So I would not have screwed up too badly. Let me just make sure. Sea salt, fine sea salt. 1 teaspoon. Okay. So there's the dry ingredients. Let me just make sure. Flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt. Yeah. So we're going to sift that. I like to sift my dry ingredients. It just makes for an airier dough. And there we go. Okay, it goes over here. So we put that aside. And we're going to we're going to cream the butter. This is a half a pound or 1 cup of semi-salted butter. That's half and half butter or half salted. You can put the whole in, but then you have to cut down on the salt that you put in your dry ingredients. So this is room temperature butter. And we're going to cream it. So you put it on a low and cream that together. Okay, next, you're going to add the sugars. So we've got sugar, 1 cup of granulated sugar. Let me get this here without making a mess. Here we go, 1 cup of granulated sugar. Baking, I make such a mess when I'm baking. Oh, anyway. Okay, so let's put in 1 cup slowly, 1 cup of granulated sugar so this gets mixed in together. There we go. Put that up a bit. It's creaming. Whoops. Okay. And 1 cup of brown sugar. Firmly packed light brown sugar. Okay. I'm going to turn this off and turn this up so I don't make a mess putting this in. So there's 1 cup of brown sugar. There we go. Start that again on low. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Make sure it's the good stuff. not the imitation. It makes all the difference in the world. And this I got from my friend Max and Matthew from Mexico. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, that goes in there. 2 large eggs. Let's just cream this a bit better. I'm going to go in there with my spatula and get the sides down there because there's butter on the sides. Oh, it smells so good. At the minute the vanilla goes in there, it just smells delicious. Okay, so we're good, doing good. Okay, next, 2 eggs. Try to get as fresh eggs as you can. These are organic. I only use organic and I only use free range. Okay, so 1 at a time. There's 1. And the other one. Let me get in there with my scraper. Get that looking good. Okay, now we're going to mix in our dry ingredients. I'm going to use one of these. So I'm slowly going to mix it in without making a mess. Getting there. Oh, it is going everywhere. Okay, I'm going to try just dumping it in. Ah. There we go. Okay. Let me get organized here and put this stuff away. Almost there. It's getting there. You start off slow, otherwise it goes everywhere. I've learned that over the years. Oh, I think that's good. Okay, so let's take this off. It feels like good. We're going to put in the chocolate chips, no worries. Now with the chocolate chips, they call for 2 cups. I really like what do you call it, pecans and chocolate chip cookies. So I opted out, I did 3/4 of a cup and 1/4 of a cup of pecans. So you got chocolate chips and pecans, or you can just opt out with the chocolate chips, of course. So let's give that a mix. You know what, I'm gonna put it back on the machine. It's far too hard to mix. What do I do with the, oh, here, okay. Why expel any energy when the machine can do it for you? Okay. Ever so slightly. There she is. All right, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Cup and a half of chocolate chips, and the rest was
no 3/4 of a cup. Sorry, a cup and 3/4 and 1/4 of a cup of. Yep. What did I say?
3/4 of a cup.
Oh. Always check the recipe underneath. I'm telling you. It's because I go over the recipe underneath, and I'm really careful about making sure the ingredients are all there and put in properly. But you know, when we're live. And we don't edit, anything can happen. Okay, so let's get this out of here. If I remember how to do this. There we go. All right, so there's your chocolate chip cookie dough. Easy and delicious. Oh yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you take a parchment piece of paper, parchment paper, you put it on a cookie sheet. You then, or you can do a silpat. What I like to use is a ice cream scoop. So they're all pretty uniform. Ice cream scoop. There you have it. Chocolate chip cookie. Very easy. Simple. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this. Then I'm going to throw them in the oven. 375 for about 8 to 10 minutes. But I'll tell you, watch them. You want them barely brown around the edges. You want your chocolate chip cookies nice and chewy. So be careful. All right, so we will see you back in about 15 minutes or so, and I'll show you the results. So see you later, everybody. Thanks. Hey, welcome back. Here you have it. Chocolate chip cookies. Fantastic. So I put them in the oven for about 8, maybe 9 minutes. I watched it very carefully, and as you can see, they're just slightly browned at the bottom and on the edges. So that's how you want them. You're still able to pick them up and play with them, and and they won't fall apart, and yet they're still chewy. So this batch made 40 cookies, so 3 dozen and a little bit more. So let's try it, shall we? Cheers. Chewy, chocolatey. Oh, so delicious. Coffee. There you have it. Please try these. The holidays are coming. We're going to have a series of baking videos up on our YouTube channel, so check them out. And stay safe. You know what you got to do. Most of all, forget the mess. Enjoy your chocolate chip cookies.